Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. With Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And it's time for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Pacers, at the 1 and 2, George Hill and Lance Stephenson. And starting 7'2", one of the true giants in the game, another great big man out of Georgetown, Roy Hibbert. Then it's Paul George, and it's West in at the 4. And for Atlanta, Teague out there with Kyle Korver. What a tremendous talent, getting ready for his first NBA appearance. Then it's Damari Carroll, and it's Millsap in at the 4 slot. And it's going to be the Pacers off the tip. Outside, George. Hibbert with a screen for George. Rejected by Millsap. Teague with the ball. Teague gets a screen from Millsap. Lets it go with the 3. Korver, no luck.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
You got that right. I mean, he'll do it from three-point land or anywhere on the perimeter, really, because he is a deadly shooter. You've got to do a better job defensively.
No good from West.
Well, Millsap, a great signing with the Hawks. 2-year deal, $19 million. You like the skill level, a guy who battles inside. And even when he's at a size disadvantage, he still seems to really prosper.
And so it's the Hawks getting on the board first. Hibbert with a screen for Stephenson. Takes the lead pass. Here is Korver. He's guarded by Stephenson. He feeds it to Korver. Here's Antic. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
And you look at the development for Paul Millsap. He's steadily improved as a passer, as a shooter. At the line, his overall game is upward.
He's even starting to shoot more threes these days. Right. Yeah, he's undersized, but just knows how to use the rim to protect his finish. I think what I like best about him is just his constant energy.
Now Teague, after the missed 3 from Stephenson. Here is Korver. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, you know what they say, lose track of your man, and you'll find him at the rim. Well, you'll actually find this guy in the corner.
Yeah, you said it, more than 5 of those corner triples, isn't he? Hey, it's a high percentage shot. It's the shortest of the 3-point shots you can take, and he's not the only one that likes it.
And he makes the first, but misses the second.
Well, if the Pacers wanted to grab the attention of the league with...
Oh!
Are you kidding me? That was a power punch right there.
Oh, great. It's not possible what we just... Clark, is that possible?
Not probable, but it is possible, partner.
It's possible. But not probable. It is possible. I don't know what all that meant, but you're right, Clark.
Now here's Teague. He kicks to Korver. The feed to Millsap. The dish to Korver. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. 5 on the clock. Here's Teague. Good. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes played.
Well, Mike Budenholzer, you know, the new coach of the Hawks, spent 19 years with the San Antonio Spurs, including 17 as an assistant. Boy, you couldn't ask for a better teaching ground than that.
Now Teague. After the missed 3 from Stephenson, Teague gets to Korver. Wide open look. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Pacers trail by 7. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And here's George for 3. Here's West. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line to try to make it a 3-point play.
What a play. The hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
And you go back and you look at the numbers from last season, he knocked down about 77% of his free throws.
And back to Budenholzer, who's with the Spurs for 19 years. Steve, the Spurs, the winningest team in pro sports over the last 15 years.
Yeah, I'm glad that Budenholzer has finally gotten his chance. I played for him for 4 seasons. He's a guy who loves the game. He's very dedicated, hardworking, and has learned from probably the best coach in the NBA during his time in San Antonio.
You know, despite a bit of an apathetic fan base, the Hawks always seem to be pretty good at home. Won 25 of 41 last year and had a 44-38 overall record.
Let's send it over to Doris Burke, who caught up with head coach Mike Budenholzer. Doris?
We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10, so we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Thanks again, Doris. Nobody really seems to talk about it, Clark, but the Hawks have been absolutely dynamite here at home over the last half-decade. Steve, as a visitor, you know this. Very tough to get wins here.
That's why they call it the highlight factory, Kevin. I mean, this place can get rocking, and you think about some of the talent they've had here the last few years with Josh Smith, who's now in Detroit, but Al Horford, Jeff Teague, a lot of exciting players.
Stephenson off the pick from West. Snatched away. Outside Teague. To the inside. Here's Korver. It's rebounded by Stephenson. Pacers trail by 4. Down low. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. A nice shot by George.
Oh, man, he goes old school on us with the finger roll.
For Atlanta, they've gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Teague, the pass to Korver. Back to Teague. Feeds it to Carroll. Outside Teague. 6 on the shot clock. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. The shot is good from Antic.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Hill kicks to Stephenson. It's back to Hill. The pass to Stephenson. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Stephenson's got his first 3 points of the game.
But you can't leave him alone, especially from long range.
Now here's Teague. Passes it to Korver. Dishes to Millsap. West is there. Millsap kicks to Korver. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Korver's got 6.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the 3 as well as they can take the 3.
Back to Hibbert. Hibbert gets a screen from George. He dishes it to Stephenson, who's looking for West and finds him. He passes to Stephenson. Hill. Rebound by the Hawks. Millsap's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Pass to Antic. Kicks it to Teague. He feeds it to Carroll. Carroll gets a screen from Antic. And Carroll gets it to go.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Mahinmi's checked in for Roy Hibbert. Here is Hill. Back to George. From deep three-point range. Can't get it to go. And Atlanta will come the other way. Lets it go from the wing. Pacers with the rebound. Stephenson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Mahinmi dishes to Stephenson for 3. Hill. Offensive rebound. Goes back up. Mahinmi's shot is good. Mahinmi's got his first 2 points.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Pacers trail by 4.
Well, Mahinmi wasn't a big name when he became a free agent a few years back. But, you know, the Indiana Pacers saw enough in him that they were willing to offer up to a 4-year deal for Jan to be the backup center. Most any NBA player can make you pay when you leave them that wide open. That's why you have to stay alert on defense.
Back to Brand. Out of bounds. Indiana takes possession.
That's a poor possession. You just give away the ball with a sloppy pass.
The Pacers have gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. And kind of an interesting trade for the Pacers for Mahinmi. You know, you could have signed him outright, but chose to trade Darren Collison to Dallas. In that sign and trade with the Mavs. Mahinmi, though, an important player for the Pacers as we saw backing up Hibbert.
He was good, but, you know, it would have been nice for them to keep Collison and sign Mahinmi. I thought they needed some depth at the point guard slot, particularly in that playoff run. And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
A nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
The Hawks have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4.
Well, 72% as a team last year from the free throw line, so the struggles continue, guys.
And, you know, there was plenty of blame to go around for that. I mean, it wasn't just 1 or 2 guys. I mean, for the most part, the entire team struggled. You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. A tough team and a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East.
Watson with it, defended by Mack. Stolen by Brand. Fast break for Hawks. Teague's got the ball. A finger roll finish at the bucket. Teague's got 6. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Hawks.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And the other thing they're doing is forcing a lot of turnovers, and that's helping them to get easy points at the other end.
And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Given it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team. They'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
And that'll be Indiana as it goes out of bounds. Pacers retain possession. Damari Carroll's checked in for Jeff Teague. They get a hand on it. Oh, here comes Williams all alone. Hammers it in after taking it the length of the floor.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back. Straight to the rack.
Here is Watson, defended by Mack. 3 from Stephenson. Atlanta with the rebound.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the board.
Yeah, and even though it's early, I mean, that's a great sign for them for the rest of the game.
Pacers trail by 4. Mahinmi kicks to Stephenson. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Carroll.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Williams passes to Mack. Back to Williams. Excellent defense there from Watson.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
Some nice passing here by Indiana. And once again off the mark by Indiana. Atlanta leading by 4. They set the pick. Here's Mack. Screen by Brand. Mack dishes to Williams. Brand takes the 3. And Williams with the basket on the assist by Brand. Williams has got 5 now.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it, guys. They have to get a hand in his face.
.141 left to play in the first quarter. The feed to Stephenson. Stephenson off the pick for Mahinmi. Stephenson kicks to Mahinmi.
That's basketball 101, guys. I mean, elementary. Use the screen to free yourself and then take it straight to the rack.
Yeah, very nice set play for him.
Well, that's using your head and using your body.
Atlanta's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Outside Williams. Backing down his Brand. Takes the 13-footer, and the shot is good.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find some, you're right. Now, here's Stephenson. He has 6. Watson kicks to Stephenson. Just 5 to shoot. The shot by Turner, no good. The Hawks leading by 7. We've got 33 seconds left here in the first quarter. Williams inside the line. Misses off the right eye.
Things have kind of gone south for him here in the quarter.
Turner defended by Mack. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, he got whacked. Shouldn't be much debate on that one.
Yeah, that was as straightforward as it gets, guys.
The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And you look at the numbers from a year ago, guys, this is a club that hit about 75% of its free throws.
And so he hits both. There's 21 seconds left to play here in the first. Pass to Williams. Williams gets a screen from Carroll. Knocks it loose. And stolen by Watson. All alone. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
And the defense just lets him go there.
And once he hit the open floor, there was no looking back. Straight to the rack.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Hawks ahead. They're up by... Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here.
And, you know, you talk about Frank Vogel, guys, and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Yes, Kevin, for the Atlanta Hawks this summer, they lost Josh Smith, but picked up a terrific signing in Paul Millsap. His contract cost them about $5 million less per year than Smith's does, and alongside Al Horford, they've got one of the best shooting front courts in the league. Guys, Millsap had the 2nd best plus-minus in the league 2 seasons ago. He can really help this team.
A steady vet. Thank you, Doris.
Yeah, one of the savviest players you'll see, no doubt. Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Some changes for Indiana. David West, he's checked in for Scola. Paul George comes in for Evan Turner. And George Hills subbed in for Lance Stephenson. And back to Vogel, he really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team of toughness and defense, and Steve, that willingness to battle.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent, along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
Watson, the pass to Hill. Here's Hibbert, and he converts the layup.
You know, he's really adept at keeping possessions alive by hitting the boards and, you know, cashing in on some of those putbacks.
And something else he does that might not wind up in the stat sheet, but is still a big part of his game, his leadership defensively. Collectively, they're a much better team when he's on the floor.
Antic. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And little to no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there. Well, you look at Paul George, my man, PG-24, a young swingman out of Fresno State. Boy, he had a terrific year last season, was the most improved player last season, and a first-time NBA All-Star. And consider how young he is, just turned 23. And he's got the potential to make plenty more All-Star games. And I think he could ultimately be a Defensive Player of the Year at some time in his career.
4 on the shot clock. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation. Hill against Williams. Hill kicks to George. Watson takes a 3. But they'll get another chance. West, right side. Inside to Hibbert. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. And Paul Millsap, the bucket on the assist by Williams. Millsap's got his first points in this one. And for Paul George, the 10th pick back in 2010, what a terrific find for the Pacers.
Well, he was already a good player, but I think the injury to Danny Granger last season created the opportunity for George to really emerge as an all-star. And that's exactly what he did. Dangerous inside and out, excellent defensive player, has a chance to be really special.
And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot, he'll go to the free throw line.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Now the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
The Hawks made the playoffs again, but ended up losing in the first round to the Pacers in 6 games. Dropped the first 2 in Indiana, won the next 2 in Atlanta, but it all ended when the Pacers got them in Game 6.
Korver kicks to Mack. Shot clock at 6. The dish to Williams. Feeds to Millsap. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Indiana's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Watson gets a screen from West. He kicks to Watson. That one wide left. Well, and for the Hawks, it's been 6 consecutive seasons with basically this group. Certainly Joe Johnson left as a free agent to Brooklyn. But, Steve, they have yet to get past the second round in any of those playoff runs.
I think that's why they decided to part ways with Josh Smith and originally with Joe Johnson 2 seasons ago, just to make that next step, to start fresh. And they may take a dip here, but I think the future does look bright.
Well, Indiana's success last season was built around its defensive prowess, and they usually would set the tone at the start of the game. They were one of the best in the league at allowing the fewest first-quarter points.
And the basket by Hill.
And he's shaking off a poor first-quarter shooting effort. He's really starting to turn it on now, guys.
And here is Williams. He has 7, and there's the pass to Mack. Millsap, defended by West. West against Millsap. Going back to the Pacers once more, you knew they wanted to emphasize defense each game, and Steve, they would always come out and get right in the offensive player's face to start the game.
And they allowed the fewest first-quarter points of any team in the league last year, Kevin. That's a great way to kind of set the tempo, set the tone in a ball game. And the Pacers were able to establish that defense right away.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Atlanta. Hill dishes to Watson. It's back to Hill. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Watson kicks to Hill. That's good, and the assist goes to Watson. Watson's got 3 assists in the game. The Hawks trail by 4. Now Teague. Dishes it to Korver. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Passes it to West. Banked in off the glass. And it's a 6-point Pacer lead. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 of 5 in the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Teague, the pass to Mack. He dishes it to Millsap. He passes to Mack. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Now here's Teague. He's guarded closer. Count that one. Teague's got 8 points.
Man, that's a difficult shot in the face of a defender that towers over.
Well, you know, he almost seems to enjoy those mismatches, Steve. It gives him a chance to show what a strong finisher he is. He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
Here's Mack. Pass to Teague. Kicks it to Mack. Millsap a screen on Hill. Back to Teague. He feeds it to Korver. Fires Fires from deep. No good. And Indiana will go the other way with it. And the foul called on Paul Millsap. That's foul number 2 for him. Indiana making some changes. Mahinmi's checked in for Hibbert. And it's Turner in for C.J. Watson. Here's Indiana now. They're on an 18-7 run. George with the ball. Now guarded by Mack. Outside Turner. His three-pointers off the mark.
Not sure why he's insisting on shooting from out there. It's just not working for him right now.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Hill with it. 17 points in the game. Back to George. The feed to Hill. Outside Turner. Indiana again missing.
He's trying to shoot his way out of it, guys, and as long as they're in the lead, he's going to continue to try to find his rhythm.
Teague, the pass to Antic. The dish now to Mack. The shot. It's hauled in by Paul George.
He's been trying to add that mid-range shot to his arsenal, but it still isn't there.
Outside Hill. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Hill's got 19 points.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
The Hawks trail by 6.
Well, George Hill, one of those unique stories, playing with his hometown Indiana Pacers. He's a native of Indianapolis and Broad Ripple High School. Was drafted by the Spurs, played in their system for 3 years out in San Antonio, and was acquired by the Pacers in a draft day trade back in 2011, and it's worked out well for both teams.
And prior to last season, the Pacers signing George Hill to a 5-year, $40 million extension.
He's a good player, a really good combo guard, can shoot it well from distance, can run a team, maybe not a traditional point guard, but somebody who can help you win. I think it was a good move for the Pacers.
For a long time, it's been about getting out and running for Atlanta, and that was really one of the strengths of the team last season as well. Really one of the better teams in fast break points in the league.
West kicks to Turner, lets the 3 fly. The shot's good on the assist by West. And it's 8 points for Evan Turner.
That's just a case of two teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Millsap a screen on Turner. That's a 2 from Korver. The Hawks again can't hit. And for the Hawks, who are so good on the break, ended up 3rd in the league last year in fast break points. Steve, not a surprise with the athletes that team has.
Yeah, but that's changing, Kevin. Josh Smith's departure, I think, is a big blow. They're not as good in transition anymore, but they do have some exciting young talent, young players who can get out and run. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of seasons to watch this team unfold.
The Pacers making a change here. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
Well, I tell you what, the Pacers did a lot of good things last year. Defended well, protected the rim and their home court. Really, the one area for improvement is probably the road record. They could get better in that area.
Outside Carroll. Here's Scott. Hill pulls it in. Indiana leading by 9. Feeds it to Turner. Back to George. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
Well, Clark, as you said, the Pacers didn't play as well as they had hoped to on the road for a team that won the division. They were 19-21 away from Indianapolis, and Steve, not the kind of record they wanted to end with.
No, but if you're around 500 then you can control your home court, you're going to have a good season. And that's exactly what Indiana did. They ended up with the 3rd seed in the East, and all in all, a terrific year.
Hill dishes to Turner. Poked away and stolen by Jeff Teague. Mack the pass to Teague. He kicks it to Brandt. Back to Teague. Baseline jumper. The shot misses. Nice D from Turner. Indiana's gotten fond of that three-point shot here in the second quarter. 4 of 9. It's Hill on the wing. Outside, George. The pass to Turner. 5 to shoot. Outside Hill. From the arc. Mack grabs the miss. Mack's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. The Pacers making a switch here. Stephenson's checked in. A minute 42 left now here in the second. Hill kicks to Stephenson. It's back to Hill. Hill gets a screen from Mahinmi. 6 to shoot. Dishes to Turner. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Pacers.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand from the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle. For the last decade or so, Atlanta has been pretty consistent. Always seems to find a way to get to the playoffs, and part of that is they've been pretty good against the Eastern Conference.
Scott kicks to Teague. The Hawks again can't hit. Indiana leading by 10. Right side Turner. Poke loose. And stolen by Williams. The 3. Atlanta gets it back. Outside Scott. Back to Williams. 44 seconds left here in the second. Teague kicks to Williams. Here's the 3. Again, Williams missing. And for Atlanta last season, 29 wins against the rest of the conference. Steve, not an amazing total, but ending up over 500 usually gets you a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference.
And a lot of people worried that they would fall out of the picture last year after they traded away Joe Johnson. You know, they're not a team that can contend for a title, particularly not now with the departure of Josh Smith. But hey, they're relevant in the East, and they've got some good young talent.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
The Pacers have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. The first one falls. Both free throws good from Turner. And here is Williams. With 1 on the clock, and no good trying to get that one. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Pacers lead by 12.
Now, presented by Sprint.
NBA basketball on a set.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. Really an incredible game from Hill.
Yeah, he was on a mission there in the first half, just trying to get into the lane every time possible.
Aggressive attacking basketball at its very best.
Korver, no luck.
Well, they've only got a slight edge in rebounding when you look at the numbers, but it certainly feels a lot bigger than it is.
Well, the score has a lot to do with that, Clark. Just based on that, you'd think the rebounding gap would be huge.
George dishes to Hibbert. Left side West. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, you got to love the season from David West last year, coming off the ACL tear back in 2011. I think he's completely back as far as that injury is concerned. He was so good last year, particularly in the playoffs.
And he's good on the second. And David West, Clark, a locker room leader for the Pacers last season, helped lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a guy I know that you greatly admire.
Oh, my goodness. Love the way he does his work. I call him Real Deal 21. There's nothing fluffy about what he gets done, and he's so smart and so savvy in how he approaches the game, and really a lion in the locker room for the Pacers. That's why that team is so tough. in many ways, particularly defensively. Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Millsap sets the pick for Teague. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
That's his 4th foul. I'm sure he recognizes the situation because number 5 would put him in a rough, tough spot.
Hill drives in. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Hill's got 23 points.
What an excellent performance from the field for him.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Pacers leading by 15. Stephenson with it. Now guarded by Korver. The kick out to Hill. A 3-ball. Again missing Hill. West with the ball. He's picked up by Millsap. And the basket by Hill.
Well, it's the edge they've had in that area on the glass that's played a big role in this game.
Yeah, they've got some strong guys, Steve. Guys that are strong and well put together, and they've used that strength to their advantage down low.
Antic passes to Teague to end the run. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
How did he get that to go?
Even after the whistle, I like the awareness, the alertness, and the presence of mind to finish the play.
This is his 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
At the line for 1.
It's a big step forward once again for Jeff Teague last season. He continued to up his scoring and assist totals and had one of his best years from the free throw line to date.
Hill drives in. Stephenson. West setting the pick for Stephenson. Gives him the lead pass. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Steve, back to Teague. He's working on that outside shooting, but as a point guard, you know, Clark, he's very effective around the rim. Those little in-between shots you like so much.
Kevin, I love the arsenal he has, and every point guard needs to have those runners, floaters, flippers, I call them. You've got to have that. You're not always going to be able to get to the rim against such, you know, against bigger guys. And Steve also mentioned his good free throw percentage, so the more he can get himself to the line, the better for him and his team.
Teague gets a screen from Antic. Millsap kicks to Teague. Passes it to Korver. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Korver's got 11 points.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Well, it took them a while, but they're finally starting to get some rhythm offensively on the outside.
Hill up top. He's got 26. Good work defensively by Millsap. The Hawks trail by 14. Teague kicks to Carroll. Carroll gets a screen from Teague. Here's Carroll. He's guarded by Hill. Outside for Millsap. He dishes it to Korver. Down to 5 on the shot clock. With the shot. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. And that's 17 points for Teague. Time called here. Indiana decides to chalk it over.
Well, he looks like he wants to toy around with some of their sets and matchups here.
You know, I don't think you can afford to go through a whole game doing the same thing over and over, and you have to be able to adjust on the fly, just like he's doing here.
Hill dishes to Hibbert, and he throws it down hard with one hand. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
Here's Carroll, defended by George. Carroll passes to Korver. Stolen by Stephenson. And here we go. Stephenson heading to the hoop.
Oh, ridiculous.
What a move.
Tore it down that time.
Wow, we're going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Kevin. That was special.
Oh, man, that was a circus dunk.
Korver kicks to Teague. Teague gets a screen from Antic. Teague with the ball. He's picked up by Hill. The shot by Carroll, no good.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
Yeah, they have not let their guard down one bit in the paint.
You know, a lot has been said about the Pacers and their defense, but in addition to them being great with their positioning and skill, They're one of the toughest and most rugged teams to deal with, both mentally and physically. They really pride themselves on playing smash-mouth basketball, and don't hesitate to get into your airspace and get in your face.
Millsap with the steal. Teague against Hill. Outside Teague. Millsap a screen on Hill. Carroll dishes to Korver. Clock at 6. 16 feet away. And the Hawks getting another basket right there. And Clark, back to what you said, the Pacers did get in a few games last year where tempers flared and players got in each other's faces. But, you know, Steve, you look back at all the great defensive teams in NBA history, and not a lot of them were a group of amicable guys.
It's true. I mean, this is a great defense, and sometimes you have to ruffle feathers and get in people's faces in terms of being tough and gritty defensively. And I think the Pacers understood that.
The Hawks making a switch here. Rand's checked in. Hill kicks to Stephenson. Pass to West. Outside for George. Clock at 4. The shot's good on the assist by West. 9 points for Paul George.
Man, a pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
Now here's Teague. 17 points in the game. Backing down is Brand. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, Elton Brand is a former #1 overall pick back in '99, guys, and despite that, was one of the most underrated star players from his days with the LA Clippers. Now he's starting to slow down. He's on the other side of that career mountain, if you will, but he's still a quality big man.
Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. Scola comes in for David West. And Brand always has played bigger than his 6'8" height with those long arms of his.
Yeah, and an underrated defender, Kevin. Offensively, he's always been a very consistent mid-range jump shooter. He can score around the basket, but he guards the post pretty well.
Atlanta calls timeout. The Hawks trail by 17. Brand sets a screen for Williams. He passes it to Brand. Back to Williams. Pass to Teague. Shot clock at 5. Williams. From deep. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Pacers leading by 17. And George kicks to Scola. Back to George. He feeds it to Watson. And a miss there on the triple. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Teague with the ball. Now guarded by Watson. Korver. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 7th assist in the game.
The easiest way to do it sometimes is with the bounce pass.
Watson kicks to Stephenson. The feed now to Mahinmi. Some nice passing here by Indiana. There's the dish to Watson. Drains it from beyond the arc. Watson's got 5.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
That was the 9th straight point from behind the arc, Clark. It feels like they're finding the holes in this defense.
Back to Williams. Kicks it to Teague. From deep three-point range. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And the Hawks making a change here. Carroll's checked in. Pacers leading by 18. Watson kicks to George. Feeds to Mahinmi. And the pass to Watson. For 3. Rebounded by the Hawks. Williams has got 3 rebounds now in this one.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots just have not dropped for him today.
He kicks it to Teague. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul. 3rd team foul.
On defense, Indiana. 18 points separating the teams. That's the biggest lead of the game. Williams passes to Carroll. The layup missed.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Watson kicks to Scola. Dishes it to Stephenson. Passes to Mahinmi. He feeds it to Stephenson. 6 on the shot clock. The shot by George, no good. The Hawks have gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. Here's Carroll, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Carroll's got 6 in the quarter.
They're taking so many shots down there, and they're knocking them down. Really good looks in the paint.
No doubt the offensive philosophy today. Pound that thing inside.
All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Pacers.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Well, it's been a super performance from beyond the arc, too. I mean, they've been raining in those threes.
That one is no good. The Hawks trail by 17. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
Stephenson. He dishes it to Watson. Mahinmi down low, working on Brand. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession.
I'll tell you what, wandering aimlessly out of bounds like that might earn him a ticket to the bench.
Atlanta calls timeout. So it's the Hawks now. And here is Williams. He's got 7. Scott dishes to Teague. Floats one, and he lays it up and in. Teague's got 7 points for the quarter.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
Man, it's not necessarily strategic, Clark. It's just a matter of playing with more heart. Got to play hard, guys.
Now Stephenson. 8 points for him. And it is fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, it's not often you find a player like Paul George who, as tall as he is, can play 2 guard. But when you do, you're going to see some really big numbers in rebounding from him. And that's what George does. He wants to average double-digit rebounds.
And Clark, you mentioned the height of Paul George. 6'8" when he was drafted. He actually grew to 6'10" in his rookie season, Steve. So he's a young guy that's continuing to grow both on the floor and physically.
Yeah, he may be 7'2" by his 4th year. I'll tell you, though, he gives you power forward size and rebounding with guard skills. It's easy to see why the Pacers are so excited about him.
Does he remind you of anybody in particular?
A bit like Scottie Pippen, you know, early in his career. Maybe not quite as strong as Scottie, but a similar skill set. A little confusion defensively.
Yeah, you know what? He sent the D a little message with that 3.
We've got 1:48 left to play here in the third. Here's Stephenson. Shot clock at 6. Right side George. Indiana again missing.
What was the defense doing there? I mean, he is not the guy to give an open look to, and yet they got away with it.
Pass to Carroll. There's the triple. It's hauled in by Watson. Watson's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Stephenson with it. Williams picks him up. It's West with the drive. Shoots. Arm's length from the hoop. He knocks it down. West has got 9 points.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
There's the feed to Korver. Pass to Scott. There's the dish to Williams. Gets the 3-pointer to fall. Williams has got 6 here in this quarter.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
Yeah, that's twice in a row now where they've done exactly the opposite and backed off.
Watson with it. He's got 6. He passes to Mahinmi. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Well, and you know, you'll take what you can from him from the foul line. A season ago, he shot in that low 60% range.
And we saw it last year, guys, because those numbers were so low. Teams weren't afraid to put him on the line where points were hard to come by for him.
Evan Turner, he's checked in for Paul George. Here's Stephenson. Out to Turner. Fires the three. The shot's good on the assist by West. West has got his fourth assist in this one. Here's Williams. The shot will not go. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Indiana leading by 17. Now here is Hill. Turner passes to Scola. Scola gets a screen from West. Here is Korver. Kicks to Teague. It's rebounded by Indiana. Hill's got 6 rebounds in the game. To the paint, and it's slammed in by Turner.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Teague kicks to Carroll. The pass to Mack. The Hawks working the ball around. Teague up top. He's guarded by Hill. Shoots. Here's Brand, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
And count the basket. He is fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. That sends Luis Scola to the free throw line. That one is on Brand. Mike Scott's checked in for DeMarre Carroll. Outside Teague. Feeds it to Mack. Korver. Scott with a screen on George. Korver. Good.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Scott kicks to Brand, and the layup's good off the glass. Brand's got 4 points this quarter.
Heads-up play on both ends there. Transition basketball, the steal and the quick push.
Steve, that's how it should be played. I mean, rapid-fire basketball.
And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. The Hawks trail by 16. Teague gets a screen from Scott. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on George.
Well, some really terrific numbers for Teague. He's got 19 points, then his huge assist tally makes it all the more impressive.
Well, and he's got this team in such a good groove right now. The way he's moving the ball and passing, getting everybody involved, they're in a great flow. You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
Rejected by Brand. And now running it up the court, Mack pushing it up. No good from Brand. Pacers leading by 14. West with the ball. Now defended by Mack. And stolen by Scott. There's the foul. It's on Mahinmi. That'll be his second foul of the game. And Stephenson's checked in for Evan Turner. Here's Teague. Rejected by Mahinmi. Now the Pacers moving it up. Stephenson dishes to Hill. And George kicks to Hill. Mahinmi passes to Hill. Outside, George. Indiana again missing. West with the steal. Outside for George. The shot's good on the assist by West. 17 points for Paul George.
That's been their bread and butter in the second half. They've really knocked down their long-range shots.
Well, and as hot as they've been, there's no need to change their offense. Just continue to play the way you're playing. You're going to get open looks.
The Hawks trail by 17. Teague kicks to Brand. Williams dishes it to Teague. He feeds it to Carroll. 4 on the clock. From outside the arc. Excellent D there from George. Pacers leading by 17. Tipped. Outside Williams. Back to Teague. It's rebounded by Mahinmi. Mahinmi's got 4 rebounds in this game.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
He kicks it to Stephenson. And the 3 ball is good. And the Pacers lead by 20.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams in their effectiveness from the three-point line.
Dan, you really notice it at that end of the floor where they continue to get open looks and knock them down.
Teague for 3. That is good. Teague's got 12 points here in the second half. Indiana's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Mahinmi defended by Scott. Mahinmi's shot is good. And here is Teague. Pass to Scott. He dishes it to Williams. Pass to Teague. Now the feed to Carroll. Brand, a screen on George. 6 to shoot. Brand against West for 3. Williams. It's rebounded by Indiana. Throws it up high. The dive for the ball. Outside for George. Indiana moving the ball around. Now the dish to Hill. Hill gets a screen from Mahinmi. Hill passes to George. No good with the triple.
Boy, they're fortunate. The defense was taking a big chance leaving him that wide open behind the arc. You know, even though he's bite-sized compared to the big man on the floor, he's done some really tall work on the boards.
Right side George. And he uses the glass on the layup. George has got 19 points.
Well, I tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Outside Teague. Pass to Williams. Williams gets a screen from Scott. Williams with the ball. Now defended by Mahinmi. Here's Scott. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Easy call there. No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
The Pacers making a change here. Hibbert's checked in. Scott hits them both.
Easy buckets, guys, are best gotten in transition. The Hawks were very good in that department, and it's how they were able to be a playoff team even while losing the players that they did before last season.
Yeah, beautiful drive there, going right around the bigger man.
And the Hawks making a change here. And back to the Hawks would end up 3rd overall in fast break points. You know, Steve, as soon as they got a rebound, everyone knew to fill a lane, and they could certainly finish at the rim.
Well, they had a point guard who really loved to push the ball in Jeff Teague. So that seemed to be the right strategy for this club. Of course, they've gone through a lot of changes in the offseason. I think they're in a situation where they're trying to grow. They added Paul Millsap, but this is more about the future than it is about the present.
West setting the pick for George. Out of bounds. Pacers ball as Indiana keeps possession.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
Here's West. Kicks to Stephenson. Beyond the arc. Outside, George. The offensive rebound. There's the pass to Hill. Just couldn't take the lid off. They had their chances, but came up empty. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Teague inside the line. From out in the wing, he knocks it down. Teague's got 7 now in this quarter.
You know, he's knocking down his shots today, but it hasn't really translated to the scoreboard yet.
It's West with the drive. Here's Hibbert. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Hill Hill against Teague. Korver dishes to Teague. Offline with his three. Pacers leading by 22. Hill kicks it to West. That drops.
He really made that mismatch pay off. The defender giving up that much size isn't going to be able to put up much resistance near the basket.
Outside Teague. He passes to Brand. West on him. The fadeaway. Brand. Good.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Outside Hill. George. West right side. Just 5 on the clock. Hibbert with a screen on Brand. West passes to Hibbert.
Boy, taking it hard to the rack for the big throwdown.
And give an unofficial assist, Clark, to his teammate for setting the screen that freed him up.
Yeah, good call, Kevin. That was really the key to the play.
The Hawks shooting the ball at 42%. Teague kicks to Korver. Misses the three.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
Here's Teague, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Teague's got 16 points here in the second half.
And that assist earned him a little nod from his teammate after the basket.
Paul Millsap's checked in for Atlanta. Pacers leading by 22. Hill dishes to Stephenson. Stephenson off the pick from West. Stephenson kicks to Hibbert. Hill feeds to Stephenson. Pass to George. 6 on the shot clock. That three off the mark. Atlanta's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot. That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
Yeah, and until they do, the problems inside are only going to get worse.
Here's Millsap on the mark with the 15-footer. They are enjoying, Steve, a commanding lead.
Well, and it gives them the opportunity to give their starters a rest, which is so critical during this grueling NBA season.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, I love watching a guy like Paul Millsap play because he's so efficient in his movement, and he's crafty. He's able to score big numbers on guys much bigger than him.
Both free throws good for Millsap. And Millsap not quite 6'8", but he's got everything else. Motor, skill level, and Steve IQ for the game.
Yeah, very well-rounded. And his wingspan really helps defensively. You know, he's led all power forwards in steals each of the last 3 seasons, so he really does a nice job defensively. That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
Teague, the open look. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. Teague's got 30 points.
Tell you what, he's had an excellent game, and they're going to have to continue to rely on him if they're going to come back.
Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. Korver with the ball. Dishes to Teague. He feeds it to Carroll. Back to Teague. Teague left side. Excellent D there from George.
And Steve, not only is their lead big, but their advantage on the boards is huge too.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, they have worked their tails off on the glass.
And the foul called on Paul Millsap. That's his 5th foul.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Cartier Martin, he's checked in for the Hawks. Shelvin Mack comes in for Jeff Teague. He kicks it to Millsap. West is there. The 3 from Korver gets it to go.
You know, they've got to be careful not to give a shooter of his caliber open looks like that. One or two of those are all it takes to really get him going.
Hill kicks to Stephenson. George. That doesn't go either for George.
Well, in most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Passes it to Antic. He dishes it to Mack. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And there's the feed to Martin. Right side, Martin. Kept alive. Here's Millsap. Gets it to fall. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never...